from Wisconsin. I was just back there last week and it was 20 degrees. I'm real happy to be back here again. I'm looking forward to meeting you kids, getting to know you better. We'll have a lot of good Thursdays. We want to teach you some things that we think that'll help you for the rest of your life, and then have some fun also. So looking forward to it.
Boys, I'm from New York. Don't hold that against me. And I've been in Vermont for 55 years. Been down here in Lexington for about 12. Joined the group at a Horse March last year. And I got to tell you, it's a very rewarding situation for you people, but it is for us as well. And if we can bond and trust each other, we'll have a great time here. My background is a high school principal, so I'm very close to the Horse March principal over here, and we share a lot of stories. So don't try to snow her or snow me, because we've been there. But if you'll pay attention to what Mr. Paul is putting out here with the mentors, you'll be really rewarded, and you'll be back here in Lexington 2 or 3 more times. So good luck to all of you.
System, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I enjoy being with children of all ages, have my own, so I think we'll just have a good time this year and just have some fun and learn from each other a little bit. So I've spent 7 months here and 5 months in Minnesota. They have like 4 feet of snow up there, and it's minus 19 degrees where I go back. So I'm happy to be down here during the Christmas break. Hope everybody has a great Christmas, and looking forward to meeting all of you.
My name's Alan Anderson. I'm from Billings, Montana. Montana is a state located up near the, right on the Canadian border, over in the western part of the United States, just north of Wyoming. I spent 12 years in the Marine Corps. I worked as an administrator for most of my professional life, a lot of it in the post-secondary level, some in the high school level. Taught physics and worked with young people as a dean for about 5-6 years. Love kids, love working with them, that's why I'm doing this. I've been with the Horns Marsh group for, I think it's about 5 years. And the experience that you people are going to be able to have this year is going to be one that will help broaden your horizons and help you figure out where you fit into the society and where you want to go. Good luck to you this year.
Welcome. I'm Bob Single. I live here in Lexington full-time for the past 2 years now. Originally from Indiana, spent some time recently in Georgia, and now here in Florida full-time. And I guess I've been with the program 6 years maybe, something like that. One of the key things that we see that benefits us all is we get to make, in my case at Horns Marsh, 25 new friends. And by that, we're all going to learn from one another. And one of the things that I kind of focus on when I'm working with you guys and part of the program is you're going to learn to get up to the podium like Mr. Paul is, stand there and talk to 25 of your friends, and learn some public speaking and some confidence in standing up, so that when you stand up in front of your classroom and give a presentation, you are the best. So that's what I like to do, and I like to work on, and we hope that you guys learn something from it. We have a good time.
Hi, welcome. My name is David Arnold. I've been in this program for 4 years, and I get as much out of it as you guys are going to get out of it, because it's a wonderful program. Take advantage of it. I'm originally from Pennsylvania. I taught 6th graders for 25 years, so I kind of understand a little bit where you're coming from. And I look forward to working with all of you. Merry Christmas.
Kind of help and guide some of the things that you think about. For example, one of Alan's people 2 years ago found out that he was in the Marines, and even at 5th grade he decided that that was his goal. From what Mr. Allen talked about his experience. We got a couple other fellows that were in the Marines and in the service. So you're going to gain a lot from that. Congratulations that you've been chosen by your school, your teachers, and your administrators. That's a huge thing to begin with. There's probably 4,000 to 5,000 kids in 5th and 6th grade in the Lee County school system. So we've got 40 of you. So when you get your phone, divide 40 into 4,000, you're in the 1 percentile group to have this opportunity. And there is no other opportunity like this in the Lee County school system. You know, the other people that are going to talk here today, other kids don't get the opportunity to learn from them. Fellas like Mr. Weber, who's going to have us at the Twins ballpark on a day where the team's not there. The Stars will be practicing, but the whole ballpark is to us. He gives us a tour, and then we have lunch there. No other 5th and 6th graders get to do that. Same thing when you come back to the club. Next time you come here, we're going to teach you how to play a little golf, and then we're going to have some cheeseburgers by the pool. Here again, an opportunity that not a lot of kids in your group achieved. So you're also going to be, we provide you with pretty cool shirts. So it's going to be Puma this year. You know the Puma, that's going to be your logo on there. The one will be Harns Marsh Young Men's Club, and the other one will be Lexington Men's Club, Young Men's Club. So we're going to provide you with those shirts, and on the day of your meeting, you'll be wearing those shirts. So everybody will know that you're special, that you're in this club, but they also keep an eye on you as far as your conduct and that type of thing. And so we want to keep your conduct, manners, and all the things that we talk about up, because you'll be representing us and you'll be representing your fellow club members. So what you're going to hear from today is these gentlemen that are speaking today took time out of their day. They're all busy. They've got other things to do to come and speak to you. So listen carefully to what they talk about and think about it. Then we're going to have a pretty good lunch. So, Mark, would you like to start us out?
Good morning, Mark Weber with the Minnesota Twins. I oversee the business operations for our ballpark. I've worked with Mr. Paul now for, I think, 5 years on this program. And for those of you who don't know, if you do well and you continue to progress in your assignments and your conduct and your character, you get to come to the ballpark. This year it's going to be on February 27th. And we'll do a little behind the scenes tour and VIP meet and greet, those kinds of things. So you get to see some of the things that a ball player might be doing. Now, at the end of the day, this is about you guys. We have all boys in this room, of developing your character and being good corporate citizens so you can graduate from high school and go on and be contributing members of society. Mr. Ernest over there, who played in the NFL, he's up here, okay? His opportunity that he had, and I work with players, it's very small. But I would tell you what he's doing now is giving back to the community. And he's giving back so you guys can have the opportunity to come back, live, and be productive members of society in Lee County or wherever you want to be. But what Mr. Paul and his mentors are going to teach you is how to act properly. What kind of character do you have? What kind of conduct do you have in the classroom? What kind of students will you be? And if you're good students, you have good character, and you learn how to speak in front of people, you will be able to go a long way in life. If in fact you go a little wayward, it's up to your fellow classmates to maybe pull you back to understand the opportunity that you might be leaving behind. So when going through this program, there's a couple things. Next year, you're going to be moving on. If you see your friend doing something that maybe not be perfect, you can kind of pull them aside and say, remember when we went to Lexington or the Minnesota Twins? We're back here to have cheeseburgers. We want to do that 10 years from now. And you need to remember those things so you can have fun as you grow up. If in fact you make wrong decisions, meaning you don't do your schoolwork, you make wrong decisions with character, the kind of people that you're dealing with, you don't have those kind of opportunities. Mr. Paul was very successful in his business. Why? Because he made the correct opportunities from 5th, 6th grade on up. And that's what we're trying to teach you here today. What are the kind of life skill decisions that you're going to meet? When you guys got off the bus or when you walked in and you shook hands and you looked everybody in the face, that's terrific. That's a start. So with that in mind, I just want to make sure that, one, you have fun, enjoy the holidays, but in 2 months when you come to the Minnesota Twins, we're going to have a fun day for you. Hopefully you're all there, because last year I think there was 2 people that didn't make it because they didn't make the right decisions in those 2 months. So we want to make sure that you continue to make the right decisions, have fun, and make sure that you trust your classmates and your mentors to making sure that you're making the correct decisions as you move forward in the next 2 months and in life. So thank you, and look forward to having you at the ballpark. Mr. Ernest?
Thank you.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing today? Good. How y'all doing? Good. Hey, listen, whenever anybody's speaking, just make sure you give them your eyes and that you're paying complete attention, okay? Because it's very important what's going on, what's being put on for you guys here today. I grew up, I was born and raised here in Fort Myers, Florida, in Lee County. I lived in Lehigh, I lived in Cape Coral. We probably moved about every single year. I didn't have a father around. For me, when I was young, I count on my hands how many times I saw my father when I was growing up. My mom gave me sports as a vehicle for me to be a productive young man, which I keep hearing say it a lot this morning. I played 5 sports. Okay, so I played football, baseball, basketball, track, and believe it or not, I played volleyball. All right. So my mom was a genius in the sense that every day that I got off the bus, it was 6:30, especially when I was in middle school and in high school. But she gave me sports as a vehicle to be a better man, and I stayed away from all the trouble that was going on in our communities. A lot of you guys come from communities where there's a lot of things going on outside in the streets that you don't want to get into, correct? Yes? All right, well, my mom allowed me to stay busy by giving me sports. But here's the thing that I really want to communicate to you guys is that, as it was pointed out, only less than 1% of you guys are going to get the opportunity to play a professional sport. All right? So you guys really need to give every one of your mentors in here actually more attention than you're actually going to give me. All right? So when I saw when he mentioned that I was an NFL player, I saw your head snap around, right? When I was walking up, you guys said, oh, he's in NFL. It's cool. But your academics, all right, your mind is the most powerful weapon that you have. Okay, so anytime that you come to me, I'm always going to point you back, to your mentors, because I really believe those guys these men in this room can give you much more valuable lessons and give you guys what you actually need, other than focusing on me as a professional athlete. Is that understood? Yes? Okay, when I was I'm just telling you, when I was in 8th grade, I was 200 pounds. All right? I could run fast, I could run over people. That was a natural gift. That was a natural God-given gift that I have that's not going to be afforded, to everybody. So, I always try to point to a couple things that are non-football things that made me who I am today. Okay? One, I'm going to point to my 5th grade teacher, who's no longer here, by the name of Marie Perry. Okay? I went to Suncoast Elementary. She taught me in 5th grade, and she kept up with me all of my life. Point being, in 6th grade, I was actually attending another school, but I would always help her as an aide in her class at Dunbar Community School, where she was teaching adult education. She was teaching English to Haitian immigrants. Anyways, one day, I went into her classroom. I was helping her as usual, and she got up and she walked out of the class and said, "Ernest, you're going to teach the class today." All right. So I'd only been there 2 or 3 times. I had no idea what I was doing. And she got up and she left that classroom. and I had to respond in that moment. And in that moment, I didn't realize that I would grow up and have a love for teaching, which coaching is teaching. And in that moment, that moment really created who I am today, because I had to respond in that moment. And so she put me on the spot. She saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, and I had to respond in that moment. Okay. Another thing I'd like to point out is for my mom. Okay, one Christmas, all right, she was probably getting tired of us being wasteful for Christmas. Okay, so one Christmas, I came to the Christmas tree that morning, just like you kids are going to do this Christmas, and there was only, it wasn't even wrapped, but there was only one gift that was under that tree. Okay, and I know all the mentors here remember what these were. Okay, there was a big shelf of, it's what we call Encyclopedia Britannicas. All right. I didn't have any other gift. I didn't have a bike. I didn't have a toy. She bought me a collection of Encyclopedia Britannicas. Okay, so obviously I was upset that day, right? I didn't get a chance to go outside. I didn't have a bike. I didn't have any toys to go play with. I stewed over it for months. I wasn't going to read any of those books, but guess what? At some point I got bored. I cracked open those books and I started to read a lot. So anytime I try to talk about what has made me the man I am today, I always talk about reading. Okay, reading is how I got to read about Nelson Mandela. Okay, Bo Jackson, when I was young, was probably my most favorite football player. Okay, anybody heard of Bo Jackson? Sure. Okay, Bo Jackson was a phenomenal football player. Okay, so the thing that I want to say is that, you know, I know we live in a largely celebrity culture, right? You're going to idolize people that you can't touch. Okay, that you can't see every day, you can't put your hands on. But everybody in here, your teachers get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to come teach you every single day. All right, they're going to put up with you. They're going to be there for your positive days to encourage you. They're going to discipline you on days where they think that you can do more. And those are the people that you really need to give your trust. Okay, and you also need to do what we call, anybody knows what demystify means? No? No? Anybody can help me out? Demystify. All right, it's always a word I use, okay? So anyone that you can't touch, anyone that's not there is sort of a mystery to you, correct? You don't know anything about them, right? And the more you learn about that person, the less that person is going to be a mystery to you, right? So reading is how I got over that, all right? So I read, like I said, when I was young, I read Bo Jackson's biography. So I had a chance when I was in elementary school to learn about everything that Bo Jackson did growing up. So I learned that he was just like me, right? It wasn't just that he was this big, fast person that I was going to idolize. I learned what he did in the classroom. All right, I learned that he didn't really have a father at home. I learned all of his struggles. I learned what he went through on a college campus, and those things empower me. So my thing is that if you guys can crack open books, if you guys can start reading, you can learn about some very powerful men, and you can learn that you can do anything that you can put your mind to. You guys understand that? Okay, so those are things that you have to really take out time for, and that you have to be able to do as young men, okay? Because I know there's a lot of talk, there's going to be a lot of talk about all the things that you can do in life. When I got into coaching, the first thing I had to learn was to get you guys to sit down and actually pay attention for a long amount of time, right? So we can't even talk about doing all these other things if you guys can't sit down and pay attention, all right? We can't talk about, you know, having a contract, and if you guys can't read what's in a contract. So what I'm loving by being here today is seeing that these men in this room are going to help you guys get all of the small things done in life that you guys need to get done. Okay, because some of you are going to focus on so many of the big things that you're going to forget to be kids. Okay, and you're going to forget there's a process to your development. You guys understand what a process is? There's a process to your development. Okay, and you have to have character, you have to have discipline, you have to be able to trust others. What I realized when I grew up, I didn't even know I had the issue that I didn't want to give another man that was older than me any place in my life. You know, so for the first 25 to 30 years of my life, I would only let, you know, people like my mother passed in 2010, and really until then, I didn't even really want any male mentorship in my life, and I really struggled because I did not have male mentorship all my life. Okay, I would let my grandmother deal with me. I would let, you know, my mom's friends deal with me, but I would never let a man have that place in my life because I did not have that male leadership growing up. I didn't really have it in my community. You know, so I struggled, and I'm giving you my personal testimony because I struggled a lot, all right, trying to be a businessman, trying to be a father, trying to be a husband, all right. All the little things that came with that was really, really tough for me because I didn't give male mentors in my life a chance to teach me how to really be a man, and you guys have that. I hear talk about you guys going to golf, right? I started golfing while I was, retired from football. It was the first time I went out on a golf course and I realized that I love golf, okay? I look down the sheet and I see, all right, this schedule of what you guys are going to learn in terms of character and leadership. I did not have that, and you guys should appreciate that, okay? You guys should wake up and be joyous and be bold and embrace it. You understand that? You have to embrace these opportunities in your life. Fellas, give me eyes, please. Yes, thank you. Okay, you guys should embrace these opportunities in life, okay? Because these things are going to make you, it's going to make you a positive asset to this community that we have here or wherever you guys decide to leave. And I do understand that it's something that you're probably not going to realize until, okay, you're an older person, but the thing that you can do is give someone your trust, okay? And if I'm going to leave with anything today, I'm going to tell you to trust these men in this room, okay? Show up with a positive mind, all right, and a phenomenal attitude, okay? Because your attitude, I love the attitude when you guys came in, the way you guys are shaking hands. I know you've been talking to look other men in the eye. I love the attitude that you guys came in. You have to check your attitude at the door every single day, because that's the first thing that's going to allow you guys to make the best of your days, okay? Life is a bunch of days strung together, okay? So you have to wake up every single morning, all right, and be thankful, be grateful that you have an opportunity, okay, to be positive in this world. All right, because I've seen people get shot, I've seen people get killed. I've been on the other side of some of the things that you guys, all right, that can catch up with you guys, all right, if you guys don't take this opportunity and run with it. You guys got it? All right, and every person next to you is a brother. You understand? Okay, so you are responsible for your brother. If you see your brother slipping, okay, if you see your brother doing something that you know that's not being taught in this group, okay, you have a responsibility to speak up. You guys understand that? Because one thing I learned is that inside the group is where all the power is, okay? As coaches, you guys look at, as coaches and as mentors, you guys look at us, we're older, okay? We don't run as well, we don't do all these different things that you guys can do inside the group. But once we give you guys the tool to be leaders inside the group and someone inside the group runs with that, that's when special things happen, okay? So I also want to challenge each and every one of you individually to try to be that person. Okay? Because when you have a person in the group, everybody sees life differently, and everybody starts to follow that person. And then this group is talked about, all right, doing something special in years to come. Okay? So I'm thankful for being here today. I thank God, for you guys. Okay? Again, if you don't remember, I'm Coach Graham. All right? If you ever need me, okay, I'll make sure we leave our information and we can talk, man. But I just want to encourage you guys, all right, to be courageous, all right, to trust your mentors in this room, all right? I'm looking forward to seeing the way that you guys grow in years to come, all right? Thank you.
When we first started out at Harns Marsh, we couldn't figure out what kind of kids that we wanted to get into the group. It was tough working with the teachers. But here's the formula that we've come up with, and that's why you've all been chosen, is that you guys are on a precipice or at an area in your lives where you can excel or decel. Every one of you, and that's what the criteria for the teachers and the administrators that picked all you guys. And it's tough, tell me, I know, 5th grade, we never saw the things you guys see, live the things you guys live. So we understand that in 5th grade, it's more like being like 7th grade when we were your age. You all got a lot on your plate. But you guys are right here, and these next 4 months, that will give you a chance to excel like these fellas and the rest of the people you're going to hear speak today. Okay? Officer?
He was 15. I'm proud to see what he's become, what he's done. A great force, a great mentor in the community. Give him a round of applause. My name is Lieutenant Sylvester Smalls from the Lee County Sheriff Office. I was actually born in Charleston, South Carolina, and this is my second time here, so some of you guys know the story. I played high school basketball. The only 2 schools that recruited me were the Citadel and U.S. Naval Academy. My grades were okay, but not good, and I started hanging with the wrong crew. So my father worked for Texaco Oil Company. He was doing a lot of work in Fort Myers. And he said, if you don't get your grades right, you're going to end up going to Fort Union Military Academy and this little place called Cape Coral. And I thought he said Cape Cod. I said, Massachusetts? He said, no, it's in Florida. Needless to say, less than a week after that conversation, I ended up in Cape Coral. I got my grades right, everything went well. I went on to play at Western Carolina. I played 2 years there, then I transferred to St. Thomas University. While at St. Thomas, I had to do an internship before I was getting ready to graduate. Being a law enforcement officer was nowhere on the radar. And I thought I was going to go do my internship with the Miami Heat. And we played, our team played with the Heat during the summertime. It's a league called the Goya League, where pros and college, college level people play. And I said, well, I'm going, I'll do my internship there, and everything's good. Well, somehow the wires got crossed, and I had to go to Cooper City PD. And I'm like, I gotta go ride with the police? No. Make a long story short, that internship been the best thing that ever happened to me. Because once I graduated from St. Thomas, I started with the sheriff's office. And 25 years later, I'm here. What's real important is the decisions you make. Right now, you guys are at the age where you can set the tone. How people perceive you. A lot of things, you guys at your age, you worry about perception. How people perceive you. And you like people to perceive you a certain way, hopefully good. You hate if people look at you funny and stuff like that. That's all part of growing up. That's all part of growing up. But you're at the age now where you can set the tone. You got excellent mentors in this room. Pay attention, do what's right, and you look at yourself in the eye. If you're doing something that you think is wrong or questionable, you might need to sit back and say, hey, I need to think about this. Or talk with your friends and your parents. Make the right decisions, because right now, you're at the age where making the right decision is very important. Very important. You look in the room, there's about, 40 kids? And when you return to school, let's say you have 100 kids at school, out of that 100 kids, maybe 15 or 20 will be doing something they shouldn't be doing. Something that's illegal or, that's not right. You don't want to go to that line. You don't want to, be on one side, on the other side. If it's wrong, don't do it. You're at a point now, you're gonna see some kids doing some bad things. So just keep a straight mind and just focus and do the right thing. Do what's right. You do what's right, you're gonna get far in life. So just do the right thing. And don't hang with the wrong crowd. It may look cool or it may sound cool. Don't do it. Don't do it. And I hate to say this, at kids your age, say no to drugs, no to crime. Because when you do crime or drugs, you end on the other side of the law. And I know you guys wouldn't like nobody like me coming in the middle of the night, taking you from your family and going to juvenile hall or something like that. I'm not even going to talk about it, because you don't even think about going that side. But stay the path, stay focused, listen to your teachers, listen to your mentors, listen to your parents. Some of you guys have better home situations than others. Do the right thing, and I promise good things will happen. Good things happen to good people. And one thing Jim Valvano said, ordinary people do extraordinary things. So keep that in mind and you will be fine.
And decided we were going to do this program. And it's hard to believe it's been 8 years that this has been running. When you think about what he says is that you're the only 2 schools really right now in Lee County having this go on. It's pretty amazing. When I started in teaching, I never thought that I would wind up in transportation. So it's one of those things that your paths, you never know where they're at. You never know where you're going. But one of the things that I always taught all the kids at Harms Marshall, I was there, is integrity. That's what you do is right when no one is looking. You have the choice when no one's looking. It's always easy to do the wrong thing, or do the right thing. But if you really have true integrity and you have those innate things inside you, when no one's looking, you still make the right choice. You know, it's as simple as the kids I would tell them, hey, look, yeah, no one's in the hallway. You could be running at full speed. You could be doing those things. But it's what you choose to do when no one's looking is what sets you apart. Make those right decisions, do those things. I brought a couple of gentlemen with me here, so I have 3 guys here, and we're gonna come up and talk to you a little bit about transportation and what we do. Oh yeah, come on up. So each of us come with a different background within transportation. So I have Mr. LaFalace here. He's a senior administrator for the South Zone. So basically he oversees all of the schools and transportation for the South Zone. Mr. McKinney, who is in the East Zone, which is all of Lehigh, some of North Fort Myers, that area. So the bus you rode in today from Harts Marsh, this gentleman oversees that bus. And then we have our boss, Mr. Lloyd, who is the executive director to be. We're saying that ahead of time, and is for transportation. So he is our boss. So when you tell people, oh, I don't want to listen to them, they're not my boss, somebody always has a boss. Somebody always has to answer to somebody. He still has someone to answer to. Everybody always has someone to answer to. But it's the path that you choose will determine where you go. It's a narrow path. Because sometimes just the simplest mistakes can have the greatest consequences. But you have to choose to make the right choice. Each one of these gentlemen, everybody here in this room will tell you, we all took different paths. But we're all still trying to get to the same outcome, which is that we lived a good life, we gave back to someone, we tried to make where we were at a better place. All right? I grew up in this area. Again, I never would have thought I'd wind up in transportation after all my years in education. But that's the path I took. And that's where I'm at, and that's what I'm doing. And I guarantee you, when I hand this to Mr. LaFalace, he's going to have a whole different story than I have. All right? But keep going, guys. You have a great opportunity. I'd love to see you guys finish this out strong. You will reap the benefits. Because I still see kids today that I run into that were, hey, Mr. Purdue, I can't believe I made it through the program. I did this, and now I'm on the honor roll in high school, and I have colleges wanting to give me money to go to college, and it means a lot. Because I know the time that these gentlemen have invested, and the kids that got something out of it really put it to use as they went forward. So I'll give you Mr. LaFalace.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to walk around. Just like if I was a teacher, an administrator, and I'm still an administrator, but I spent about 17 years working with students. And Mr. Graham said something very important. He mentioned appreciate. I'm going to bring my background to you, and I want you to appreciate what you have here. When I got here, I thought I was going to eat. Thank you, Mr. Purdue. Why you need to appreciate what you have? Let me tell you about myself. 17 years coming from Haiti. You don't know where's Haiti? Yes. Okay. From Haiti, it's not easy to be where I am today. You have to grind. You have to push yourself. Life is like a big hotel with about 40 levels. Once you enter that hotel, you have to choose to take the stairs or take what? Elevator. So, if you go to that hotel, how are you going to get high? No, in life, you're going to take the stairs. The elevator is going to be the easy way. No one's going to give you anything. He took the stairs. He took the stairs. I took the stairs. No one's going to give you anything for free. You're lucky those guys are giving you something. They are giving you something. Choose that opportunity. Take it. Whatever knowledge they're going to give you, take it. He said something earlier. You didn't have a father figure. Now you have mentors. People who are guiding, giving you advice, teaching you about character. Listen to them. Listen to them. No one's going to be nice to you in life. It's not your mom giving you a cell phone. Life is not going to give you anything. In school, you have to work for your grades. Like I used to tell my students, A's and B's get degrees. You go to school, keep telling you. It's not about how, your physics, how good you are playing sports. It's about what you have here. What you have here. Don't expect people, oh, well, no excuses. Come, show up, get ready. Because when I came here, I had to go to school. Despite of the language barrier, get the grades, go to college, walk to school. You know where's FSW? It used to be Edison College. I used to walk from Central Fort Myers to that school because I didn't have a ride. I used to work at McDonald's. I used to be a CNA. And yet, by going to school, I became a teacher, an administrator, and now I'm in charge of transportation. And I'm providing services to 30 schools. How did I get that? Do you think someone gave it to me? Go to school, get the grades, no excuses. Get off the phone, grind, keep working, keep working. That's my only advice to you. Okay? Thank you.
My name is Jared McCain. I'm one of the senior administrators with transportation as well. I won't be as long as these two. But I will tell you all, I will press on you, and just like the rest of them have been saying, please don't take for granted this opportunity that you're getting right now, because you're surrounded by greatness. If you look around this room, your own peers, there's this greatness here. You guys are the future. You'll be us one day. But do not take for granted this opportunity you're getting, because just like Coach Graham said, we didn't get this kind of stuff growing up. Some of us didn't. You guys have mentors that are willing to take out time with you. Don't let them waste their time. Use it to your advantage. Take in the advice that they gave you. Keep up the good grades. Stay in school. Listen to your teachers. These are the people that are impacting your lives. And just strive for greatness. I look forward to seeing where you're going from here. Okay.
When you hear his story, whoever he's got now, it's very impressive. Here's Leon.
Well, this was unexpected, but I am the executive chef here.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I came from an island called Antigua, and just like most of these guys here, I went to school here, high school. I did high school here in Riverdale and Fort Myers High School, and I was lost. I didn't know what to do, so I went ahead and I joined the military. I was in the Army for 5 years, and time well spent. Then I came back here, and this is where I started my career, as worked my way up from being a cook all the way up to being in charge now. So it's just hard work, keep grinding it out, and just have somebody to look up to. And you guys right here, everybody look great, and you have somebody who you could go to be on the straight path. So that's pretty much my story. It's been a long road, and I'm going to keep going to the end. So you guys, good luck, and it will happen if you stay on the straight path. Thank you.
He is in charge of this whole place, all the employees, and he has not come up the easy way either.
Right away, I like your hair. I'm jealous. I don't have any. And if I did, it would be that color. Anyway, good afternoon, everybody. It's so great to have you here. I'm proud of each and every one of you. You took an opportunity to learn and earn a slot with this group. So I want you to do something right now. Give your mentors a big round of applause, and all these men and your great speakers that took the time to come here. Give them a round of applause. Okay, so we talked a lot today about opportunities, and there's plenty of opportunities for you the rest of your life. You're going to have all kinds of opportunities. Some of them are going to be good, and some of them are going to be better and some of them are going to be bad. So what kind of opportunities do you want to make?
I want to make a good opportunity.
Wow, that's great. So when we go through life, it's like my own life and these men in here and all these speakers, we had an opportunity in our lifetime that came along, and we were fortunate enough to make the right decision and take advantage of that opportunity. The only reason I'm standing here today doing what I'm doing is because I was smart enough and brave enough to know the difference between a good opportunity and a bad opportunity. And I think your mentors have taught you that. So when something comes along and it's an opportunity and you're not sure whether it's going to be good for you or bad for you, who are you going to talk to? Are you going to talk to your mentors, your family, your friends, your teachers, somebody in school, or one of the policemen? Now, if you have an opportunity and you're not sure, who are you going to talk to? Let me see this young man here. Who are you going to talk to?
I'll talk to a policeman
Policeman?
or principal.
Principal or
Yeah.
policeman? They were my two favorite, policeman and principal. Okay, that's fantastic. Who would you go to?
I would go to one of my mentors or a policeman.
Fantastic, man. These guys, they're smart. They learn a lot, man. So at any rate, just you being here today gives me great joy, and I'm very proud of each and every one of you. And I'm also proud of our members here and all of our speakers. They came here today to give you the opportunity to learn more. You're going to come back to the club, and you're going to probably play a little golf, I understand. Mm-hmm. And you know, there's a great choice there. My son's the golf pro. Maybe somebody wants to take a lesson, we can do that. Mm-hmm. You know. And then there's a young man there that took advantage of opportunities, and at a very young age became a golf pro. And in this club, there's a lot of opportunities for you. Who wants to work in a country club when they grow up? Something like this. Anybody? A couple guys? Who wants to be a policeman? Fireman? Teacher? Banker? Baseball player? Waiter or waitress? That's what I was waiter. But at any rate, I was a waiter and a bartender, and I did all these things. I worked out on the golf course. So just in this building alone, we have 180 employees, and there's 180 opportunities. So as you get older, Lexington Middle, raise your hand. Where are you at? Lexington Middle. You're close, you're right here. You're right down the street. So when you graduate, you can come down here, fill out an application, go to work. Wouldn't that be nice? But at any rate, we're going to work with you for, I hope, for quite a while, and hopefully show you things that are going to benefit you throughout your life. We're here for you, your mentors are here for you, and Mr. Kirshner is one blessing to this universe. Thank you, Mr. Kirshner. All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.